Hi, my name is David. I was asked to speak to you today to tell you a story about a part of my life. I'd like to go through a few of my teenage years. I am the youngest son of a man named Jesse. He had 8 sons and several daughters. As I got old enough into my early teenage years, part of my job in the family was to take care of the family sheep. So I spent much of my time out in the hills around Bethlehem, where I kept wild animals away from the sheep, protected them, and got very bored while I was up there. So one of the things that I did was to practice with my sling. Now, many of you might think that a sling is just a child's toy, but it actually is a weapon of warfare. A sling is made up of either of a strip of leather or woven wool, approximately 3 feet long with a pocket in the middle. That stone can leave that sling at over 60 miles per hour and travel over 200 yards. This is one of the things that I did up there. One day as I was watching the sheep, I noticed somebody running up from the house, and as he got closer I realized it was my next oldest brother, Billy Bob. And they'd never come out here to see me before. I thought, well, something must have happened at the house. I don't know, maybe somebody got hurt or died. So when Billy Bob gets up here, I'm going, what's going on, man? And he's going, well, a prophet named Samuel came to the house today, and he's supposed to anoint one of us as king of Israel. I'm going, yeah, right. One of us is going to be king someday. He said, no, I'm serious. We all thought it was going to be Eliab, our oldest brother. But he went in front of Samuel, and Samuel's going, no, that's not the one. And all of us went through it in front of him one at a time. And finally they got to me, and he's going, no, none of these are going to be the future king of Israel. He asked Dad if there were any more sons, and he says, yeah, my youngest son Dave is up in the hills watching the sheep. He said, well, send for him at once. And that's why I'm here, so you better get back to the house and see Samuel. As I walked into the house that day, as soon as I opened the door, Samuel saw me, and he ran up, and he said, this is the one. The Lord had told him I was going to be the next or future king of Israel. So they anointed me and did all these ceremonies over me, and from that time on, the Spirit of the Lord came upon me, and I grew in strength and in something else. And brave, and became brave. I went back to take care of those sheep. I fought off wild lions and bears to protect the sheep. At times I even had to kill them. Nothing scared me. I continued to practice with that sling day after day after day until I could hit exactly what I was aiming at. During the next couple of years, the Israelites went to war with the Philistines. And when I was back at the house one day, my dad said, Mom's baked all of these goods. She'd like you to take them up to your brothers, see how they're doing, bring a report back to us. So I went up to the Israelite camp, and as I walked into the camp, my brothers saw me coming, and they're going, what are you doing up here? Get back to the house and take care of those sheep. And I'm going, no, Dad sent me up here and sent these things for you. And they go, well, fine, you'll get out of here, go home, you're too young. But being the little brother and the pest that I was, I stayed and hung out with them. And as we were visiting, this big old Philistine came out onto the hillside across there, and he was cursing Israel. And he said, if you'll send one of your soldiers to come and fight me, and he can kill me, we will be your servants. But if I kill him, you will be our servants. And so I asked my brothers, what's up with that guy? And they go, well, he's done that every day for almost 40 days. And I'm like, well, what if somebody go fight him? And they said, did you see that dude? He's like 9 feet something tall. His sword weighs almost as much as you do. And I'm like, yeah, so go fight him. And nobody would do it. So I said, well, I'll go. And they, of course, laughed at me and told me to go home. So I approached the king, King Saul. I said, King, let me go and fight the giant. And he's going, this is a man, this is a trained man of war. He's a warrior. You're just a boy. What can you do? The Lord that protected me from the paw of the bear and the paw of the lion will protect me and deliver that Philistine into our hands. So I finally talked him into it. He had his armor bearer bring out the king's own armor and put it on me. Put on that helmet, gave me his sword. Once that was on, I couldn't even move. I said, King, just let me go up there. Fight him on my own. I've got my sling here. That's all I need. And so he gave me his blessing and sent me up there. And as I was walking across the valley, coming toward the giant with my staff and my sling, he starts approaching me, coming down towards me. And he says, what's up with this? You come against me with sticks and with stones? And he's cursing Israel. And I said, you come to me with the sword and with the javelin, with the spear. I come against you in the name of the Lord, the God of Israel. Today, God will deliver you into my hands. With that, he raised his sword, was running at me. I wound up that sling and sunk that stone deep into his forehead. As he crumpled to the ground, I approached him. I got his sword. I chopped off his head. I took his head back to the king, and the world knew that there was a God in Israel. If you're interested in more stories of my life, you can find them in the Bible. Mr. Toastmaster. Oh, that's for me.